Why should Republican primary voters vote for you?
In 2016, Donald Trump promised to govern as a conservative. And for 4 years, we did govern as conservatives. Republican voters deserve to know is that Donald Trump and many of his imitators in this race make no such promise today. In fact, I see the former president and others walking away from that conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan brought to the fore, but has really been at the heart of the American experiment since our founding. And when people look at that, and when people look at moving forward on a conservative agenda, I hope that they'll see that I'm actually the most qualified, the most consistent, the most tested conservative in this race. And for Americans that want to see us return to those principles that began to strengthen our nation in our 4 years in office and brought America back in the 1980s, that they know that Mike Pence is the man for the job.
Last question, Governor, and let's pick up on the substance of your last answer. There are many candidates in this race. Why should Republican primary voters vote for you?
You know, what Ronald Reagan gave as an example to us 44 years ago was he beat a Democratic incumbent. It has not been done since Ronald Reagan did it. I'm the only person on that stage who's ever beaten a Democratic incumbent.
Last question, Governor. There are many candidates in this race. Why should Republican primary voters vote for you?
I'm the only person running who, every time I said I would do something, I've delivered.
There are many candidates in this race. Why should Republican primary voters vote for you?
I think I'm the one that brings dual experience. I've been a chief executive. I was a two-term governor. I also have foreign policy experience. I negotiated not with one country, but with 193. I'm the daughter of legal immigrants that reminded us how blessed we were to live in this country. I'm the proud wife of a military combat veteran, and I know the sacrifices they make. I'm the mom of 2 children, and I wanted a future for them that's brighter than what we had.
Why should Republican primary voters vote for you?
I think it will take someone coming in from the outside, from a different generation, to reach that next generation. I know the American dream exists because I have lived it. My parents came to this country with no money 40 years ago. I have gone on to found multiple multi-billion-dollar companies. Did it while marrying my wife, raising our 2 sons, one of whom is getting a tour of the Air Force One that's upstairs right now. That's the American dream. And I am genuinely worried that that American dream isn't going to exist for our 2 sons and their generation unless we do something about it. And I think the Republican Party has fallen into a little bit of a trap. We want to make sure that we get out of that trap, but that trap is to point the finger at the other side, to point the finger at everything the radical left is doing wrong. And I've been guilty of this too, I have to admit that. But we have to now offer a vision of our own. And so I think the reason I'd like to ask people to support me is I'm not just running from something. I am running to something. I have taken on bureaucracies my entire life, from the bureaucracy of big pharma to the bureaucracy of the ESG industrial complex that infringes on our liberties today. Now I'm ready to take on the biggest bureaucracy of all. That's the bureaucracy in our federal government, the same one, by the way, that Ronald Reagan tamed when everyone told him he couldn't do it. That's the spirit I'm going to take when we tame this federal bureaucracy now once and for all.
Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you for your time. You're welcome back anytime at the Reagan Library. Appreciate it.
It's good to be here. Thank you.